All right.
Should be live audio.
So we need to test the call.
Yeah, I think after we test the call, we'll be good.
Okay.
See any levels.
Uh,
Yep. You're
my audio is?
yeah.
Cool. Well, I guess I should actually mute myself on here.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Too Late Show with Dr. Beelzebub Crow. We got a great show for you tonight, folks. Governor Andrew Cuomo from New York is here. We've also got the secret president, of course, Jaguar, formerly of the CIA, FBI, etc. He'll be joining us for the first part of the show. And then towards the end of the show, we've got a surprise guest for you folks tonight. Now, it's going to be hard to follow Governor Cuomo, but I'm sure our third guest tonight will be able to figure something out. Now, we've also got something new, a new feature we're doing on the show. Towards the end tonight, we're going to be going over an article to help our audience better understand the world, reptilians, and how to fight them. But before we get into any of that, let me just properly introduce you to what's going on around here. So, we are the Too Late Show. I am, of course, your host, Dr. Beelzebub Crow, son of Satan. I hold PhDs in several fields, cryptozoology, stone structure studies, astrology, that sort of thing. But we're also joined, as always, by our producer. Everybody give him a big caw. Caw, 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 caw.
So,
And, of course, on the ones, twos, and possibly threes, if we're using trinary computing, is... Wait, do I use your real name now?
yeah, Jonah.
Okay, this is Jonah. He's our musical maestro, making all the beeps and boops and bops and caws. They sure do. Now, we're just a regular, run-of-the-mill psychedelia talk show here at the Too Late Show with Dr. Beelzebub Crow, and we like to offer our audience a little something you don't get every single day. If you do get what we're offering every single day, you should probably seek the help of a professional. You may be having some sort of a psychotic break. Now, that's not for me to decide. I'm not a professional. Well, I am a professional, just not a psychiatric professional. You get what I'm saying. So, another thing we're going to bring to the show going forward is we have some beefs with people. Now, I know that we're a relatively low-clout organization. We only have 1 or 2 million subscribers, and a lot of the people that we're picking fights with have way more than that. But we think it's important to use our platform to call out people that are doing sneaky, nefarious things all around the world. And we would hope to, draw attention, to what they're doing and why they crossed us, and why that's the last mistake they'll ever make. But that's not that's not a threat or anything like that. This is just a parody show. Parody. We've actually got a couple of parrots in the back, making sure that all of this is approved, checking it out, making sure that they're signing off on everything. They're parody parrots, folks. Yeah. So to get into the beefs that we're going to bring to the table tonight, the first person that I'm calling out, that's right, Ghislaine Maxwell. We've got a beef with Lady Ghislaine, and let me tell you why. Okay, so we've got a staff scientist, Dr. Beef Supreme. We may be hearing from him later in tonight's broadcast. I'm not 100% sure. He's an enigmatic figure, but he's always cranking out cool new inventions and that sort of thing. So, a few months back, I went to Dr. Beef Supreme, and I said, Dr. Beef Supreme, I'm tired of my cell phone constantly being monitored. What with the NSA and the TikToks and the what have yous. I'm tired of all this. How can I keep myself completely safe? Well, Dr. Beef Supreme said, well, what you want to do is throw your phone in the river. Well, that's absurd. I can't throw my phone in the river. How else am I going to look at my apps? How else am I going to rub on the screen for my little dopamine pleasures that I need during the day? So that's not going to happen. So, what are my next options? And he says, well, have you ever looked into a Faraday cage? Now, folks, a Faraday cage is a relatively simple concept, right? You make a box, right, out of lead or, some other material that's hard for electromagnetic waves to penetrate. So you lock the phone in the box, and then the phone is not within reach of any of the government satellites or even arguably the reptilian satellites that are close to the moon, monitoring all human communication 24/7. Now, I had Dr. Beef Supreme cook up this perfect Faraday cage. It was wonderful. Folks, you could text with a separate little keyboard that's outside the box, all right? SMS messages, MMS messages, you're fine. It'll transmit those, no problem. So, that part's great. You could also access your favorite apps. You could use Twitter while the phone was in the Faraday cage. All right, this is probably the greatest Faraday cage ever known to man, right? You can use the certain apps that you need to. Everything else is completely locked down. Well, wouldn't you know it, Ms. Maxwell stole the design for our Faraday cage. And she's been using it this whole time. She's been locked away in New England. Yeah. So, you know, I could have been using the Faraday cage this whole time to evade capture by the authorities. But she thinks that she can just take it, run off to New England, and get away scot-free. Well, I'll have you know that I contacted my people in the FBI and gave away her location. So, you're welcome, everybody. You know, that whole case is going to get resolved thanks to us. So, just wanted to let everybody know we've got a little bit of beef with Lady Ghislaine. We hope, you know, nothing bad happens to her in the MCU or anything like that. Certainly nothing weird going on with that. Our next beef that we want to bring up is with Stephen Bannon. Alright, Steve. Smelly Steve. Here's the deal. Smelly Steve, 2 years ago. Wait, 3 years ago. It was 2020 in linear reality, so 3 years ago. Yeah, 2017. I paid Steve Bannon $10,000 for a presidential pardon. I said, okay, Steve, you go to President Trump and you tell him to write the presidential pardon. He dipped, never heard from him again, never got the presidential pardon. My crusade to have Jack Ruby exonerated is still on the rocks. I still don't know how that's going to end up. But I'll tell you folks, look it up. Jack Ruby didn't do it.
This dry old crow.
My man. My man.
So we've got a few things to take care of, folks, before we move on to our guests. Now, first and foremost, I want to let everybody know we are working on our very own cryptocurrency. Yes, I know. Don't beat a dead horse, etc., etc., etc. But no, hear me out. Okay. Our initial coin offering is going to be based on how many social contacts you've had recently. Okay? So the less social contact you've had, the higher your value would be. Alright, so we're going to put socialization on the blockchain. And we're going to make sure this is automatic contact tracing. This is automatic, systematic. You'll know everywhere that everyone has been.
Asymptomatic.
Yeah, well, of course it's asymptomatic. Everyone's asymptomatic. Looking forward to having President Jaguar on the show tonight. Now, for those of you that don't know, the show has a little bit of background with President Jaguar. Now, he's the secret president. I'm sorry?
Remember when he nuked us?
Oh, yeah, I remember when he nuked us. Well, that was technically in his capacity as a CIA agent, you know? That wasn't his choice. That was more the agency's decision to nuke us. Yeah, thankfully, we have a lot of auto-constructed nanobots in the studio, so we were able to put it back together. Basically, no effort. Now, it's important to note that President Jaguar is a part of the secret government. Now, as some of you I'm sure know, there are multiple levels of government. So you've got the basic normie government, right? They're based out of Washington, D.C. Okay, then you've got the secret government, right? The first level of secret government. Okay, they're based out of NORAD in Colorado. Right, now they direct all of the regular normie government's actions, okay? But they're all either, you know, immortal, adrenochrome junkies, you know, you've got some liches in there, you've got a couple of old school wizards, Rasputin's a part of the whole thing. And then above that even, you've got the secret government, right? And that's what Jaguar's the president of, okay? So when he comes onto the show and tells us stuff, this is, you know, 50,000 steps ahead of the normal discourse, you know? So we're talking about things like Loosh. We're talking about things like orgone energy, okay? We're talking about crystal healing, all right? The kind of things that the mainstream media wouldn't tell you, right? Even folks like Alex Jones won't tell you about this stuff, because, folks, he's a psyop. I'll have you know, I've met Alex Jones in person. He is not real. He's a cardboard cutout that's manipulated from behind by little bitty elves. Right? They've got little sticks. That's why he moves around so strangely. That's why his facial expressions don't seem to match up with what he's saying. He's being manipulated by tiny elves, and he is in fact just bit of paper. Again, not a lot of people are going to tell you this, but I will, because I love my audience, and I'm trying to give you the real, unvarnished truth about matters and facts. and possibly even figures. So where are we on President Jaguar? Do we have a President Jaguar around yet?
Well, President Dr. Agent Jaguar
Oh, I forgot about the doctor.
one of a variety of XMPP slash JPEG slash WIFI slash HTML slash Ethernet protocols to
It's a
contact
Unix
us
system.
momentarily. Yeah, I know this. It's a Unix system. Yeah, so we're gonna see how that works.
All right.
Momentarily.
Well, we're gonna have President Jaguar on the phone in just a little bit here. And just to check in with the audience, you know, I hope everybody's having a nice beginning of their fall. You know, summer was hot, very, very hot. You know, we're down here at the end of the dog days of Sirius. I don't know about all of you, but I have been getting far less contact from extraterrestrials as the dog days come to a close. And in case you're not aware of the dog days of Sirius, right, that's when the Earth is closest to the binary system Sirius, right? And the aliens that live there have a long history of contacting humans and giving them all sorts of secrets for things. The Syrians, well, let's see, you know, they first gave us electricity in ancient Babylon with the little jar batteries that they had. They initially gave us the formula for a non-water-based lubricant. Very important. They're the ones that gave us Velcro, microwaves, yeah, a lot of stuff. So, you know, in case you haven't been contacted by the Syrians during this period when the Earth is most closely aligned with the binary system, you know, reach out to them, you know, maybe, you know, drink a bunch of hallucinogenic substances before you go to bed, you know, maybe put a bunch of LSD in some Drano and chug that. That's parody, obviously, don't do that. But, you know, if you do want to get into contact with aliens, now is your best bet. And folks, if you need to be trained for any of that stuff, please just slide into my DMs on any platform. I offer courses online 3 to 4 times a year, and I can train you to speak to aliens in lucid dreaming or just stone cold sober first thing in the morning for a very, very, very reasonable price. You know, I mean, this is extraterrestrial intelligence you're talking about here. You're not going to get that stuff cheap. Now, if we're waiting for President Jaguar's encryption to get broken through so we can get him on the show.
I've got an update for that. He's warming up his 12th dimensional platinum white Loosh protection Merkaba shield.
Oh, okay, good. Wow, he thinks we're gonna steal Loosh from him. That's incredibly paranoid. Folks, just to give you a bit of a background on the Loosh phenomenon. Now, human beings have, you could say, a secretion, right, that comes out of the pineal gland in the brain. This secretion is called Loosh. It lubricates your thinking, allows for psychic abilities, telekinesis, pyrokinesis, orgasmokinesis, etc. It also prevents extraterrestrials from probing your brain. Now, so for these reasons, Loosh is considered very valuable. Everyone needs to try to hang on to the Loosh that they naturally produce. But like with adrenochrome, or you know, the livers of certain magical creatures like unicorns, if you are able to ingest a large amount of Loosh, either orally or through injection, you actually will become much more powerful, you know, psychically, telekinetically. You can actually do mental battle with aliens. And none of this is psychosis. No, this is all very real, verified by science, verified by researchers who, for legal reasons, we cannot refer to as scientists. But they are researchers, good ones, the very best. And so we're trying to partner with President Jaguar to bring Loosh to the people. Now, of course, we're going to secure a small portion of the Loosh for ourselves, but that's neither here nor there. So we also have tonight, we have a little bit of a special something. Do we have a Dr. Beef, a Dr. Beef Supreme out here somewhere? I was hoping, I thought that Dr. Beef Supreme had some sort of an invention. that he wanted to show to the show tonight.
That's right. That's
Oh,
right.
here he is now.
I just made it back to the office. You know, it's a wild place out there. I wear hazmat suits when I'm out, and there's just, you know, I have like 5 different gas masks I have to wear at the same time.
Sure.
Just because, you know, I'm just that much more sensitive to the LSD particles that are just like emanating off all the COVID.
Well, it's from the
things.
chemtrails too. When the
Yeah,
chemtrails meet the COVID.
like, you know, if you're only wearing like, you know, a fucking cloth mask these days, you know, you aren't anywhere near the level of protection you need
Yeah.
against all these like chemtrails that there have been like.
That's why you need an
lately.
N95. That's 95 layers of protection.
That's right. That's right. So, anyways, Dr. Crow, I have actually brought to you the latest prototype of my invention. It's called the Quantum Metachiron.
The quantum metachiron, huh? That sounds pretty advanced. What are we talking here?
Well, this little device right here is quite simple. In fact, its its primary objective is to help you steer your psyche towards more advanced levels. You know, really, I want you to level into another level of leveling. You know?
Sure.
Like, you know, back in my day, it was actually easier to level up now, and with all the shit that's, you know, all the mimetic, you know, forces and magic flying around these days, it's just really hard to, you know, ascend and like level up. And
Well, there's a
like,
lot of negative levels flying around.
yeah, you know, you gotta get rid of like the negative levels, and then you have to get, you know, try to ascend to the positive levels. Then you gotta like, you know, find like 5 or 6 gurus, and like,
Oh,
you know,
at
this is gonna save a lot of your time. Like, this will help you and your audience level in another level of leveling.
That's fantastic.
And,
I see we've got like a bunch of guru compressors down here. And this seems to be some sort of chakra recycler.
Yeah. In fact, it's specially made. I got it just last week.
It's a custom rig.
Yeah. Anyways,
Is it organic?
it's not organic actually, because organic is another scam. You know, it's just like, you know, there are very few things out there that aren't scams. This is like an organic orgone like accumulated
Sure.
device.
So it
it's
actually-
like it's
it
twice as organic
scans while it
on
scans.
orgone. Yeah, you know, because those are like actually like organic movement is trying to like, you know, like steal from the orgone conception and like apply it towards
Exactly.
things to sell you more shit. Like, it's just part of the capitalist scam to you know, make it so you just live in a pod and like, you know, and everything is fake.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but money itself is organic because it comes from trees. I'm
Farm
pretty
to
sure.
circuit.
Yeah, farm to circuit. This is a farm to circuit Chiron board. Now, can this thing tell the future?
Oh yes, definitely. In fact, it's constantly like reading the radio waves emanating from you know, the 5G towers to you know, predict the next move that like the reptoids will be pulling off. And
So this is going to help us stay one step ahead of the reptoids.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Nice.
anytime you need to like have the future read, just ask it a question and it will respond.
Okay.
And that's really its main goal is to like, you know, listen and understand and combine those with astrological methods. You know, I Ching.
Sure.
It has a quantum computer inside of it as well. You know,
Okay.
it's basically I threw every single type of you know, randomness method in there in order to, you know, divine the next level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is running some sort of an Arisian operating system.
Oh yeah, yes. Custom operating system, custom kernel, custom programming languages, like nothing off
Even
the
a
shelf,
custom
man.
compiler.
Yeah, like everything like was invented from the ground up just for this.
That's Dr. Beef Supreme. I can't thank you enough. You know, this is really going to help us. I'm not sure what it's going to help us with, but it's going to help us with something.
It is.
I mean, that much is guaranteed.
It was, the flags directed it.
Oh, it says the Too Late Show on there. That's our show.
That's so cool.
That's our show.
All right, I need to get back to my other office.
Thanks, Dr. Supreme.
All
We'll
right.
see you soon. Wow, this looks pretty good, everybody.
I could feel the organ flowing through me.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty horned up over
Like
here.
more than usual.
Yeah.
Feels good.
So what do we think about the moon being hexed recently? Has that affected anybody in a negative way?
Yeah, I was driving the other day, and there was this witch in the road hexing the moon.
Right.
And so, you know, she was instructing my first responsiveness.
Well, yeah, you're a first responder.
Yeah. And you know, in Tennessee, it's illegal to do that now. So I just like ran her over.
Whoa!
So I don't really know how the hex works.
Yikes. Well, I mean, it's not. I mean, she was hexing the moon, not you, so probably it still worked. Yeah. Well, see, I would be worried now that somebody else is going to hex you. You know, maybe they'll redirect their energies from the moon to you.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking I don't want to piss off international witchery. You know, that seems like a pretty powerful force to have allied against you.
They're all like Hogwarts, right?
No, that's a different thing.
Oh.
These are real witches. Hogwarts is actually a fictional universe, but these are real witches in the real world doing real magic on the moon.
Yeah, that's how blood moons are created.
Right, exactly. These are just your run-of-the-mill Wicca. What's the plural of Wicca? Is it Wiccan?
Wicca?
Wiccas?
Well,
That can't be right. So I didn't personally experience anything negative from the hex on the moon, but I did notice a huge abundance of werewolves. Now, I don't know. I didn't think werewolves were real, right? But in the middle of the night, you know, I hear a bunch of howling and scrapping. And I see two giant hairy monsters fighting in the middle of the road. I figure that's got to be werewolves. I don't see anything else it could possibly be. So far as I know, there's not an underground hairy guy MMA ring happening in the neighborhood. Although that would be an interesting development.
My man.
Folks, I think it's also important in these troubled times to remember the number one thing you should care about, other than your family,
Old crow.
and other than whiskey, is to like and subscribe to our channel. By liking and subscribing to our channel, you are helping us reach even more eyeballs and corrupt even more brains than ever before. Folks,
brother.
with your help, we can make the entire world as stupid as we are. And if that's not a noble goal, folks, I don't know what is.
Aye.
That's exactly right. Praise Bob.
My man.
So how are we looking on the Jaguar front? Because you know we could just talk to the governor. You know, I'm a little excited to talk to the governor.
So Agent Jaguar said that if we get 100 likes on stream, then he'll do a loosh reveal.
Oh my God, folks, a loosh reveal.
I'm
Hey.
not sure what that is. I keep forgetting.
Well, so a loosh reveal, and that's probably you've probably forgotten because the government scientist wiped your mind.
Every
Yeah,
time, man.
yeah. They get you with the little Men in Black clicker. But a loosh reveal is actually you would drill just a tiny little hole in the front of your skull and headbang really, really fast, right, to get the loosh energized, and then you stop short, and it just sort of launches out of that little hole in your forehead into a receptacle of some sort. I like to put my loosh in a bowl personally, but you can put it in a little chalice maybe.
I was just informed by our commentators that the plural of Wicca is Slim Shadys.
Slim
Look at
Shadys.
Slim Shady.
I see. Wicca, Slim Shady. Well played, Chad. Well played. I had forgotten about the ignoble Mr. Shady.
Or Wicca.
Wicca.
For real.
Wicca.
So the more comments you spam, the cooler we feel afterwards, and the more people watch, the better we feel afterwards.
Yeah. And if you especially if you spam Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, that the Facebook algorithm will pick it up and we'll go live to everybody on Earth.
Yeah, it's not past that yet. They haven't devalued it. In their
Yeah. It's still got a lot of investors picking up value.
If you say that, you still matter in the discourse.
It's true.
Oh man, we've got so much activity. There's even a thing on the bottom where you can send us money.
You can send us money?
Yeah, you can. We actually got our
Interesting.
first donation last episode.
We did. Yeah, we're basically rich now. That's why I'm wearing this hat that says "Stay Gold," because I'm sitting on a bunch of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I actually sold off all my gold a while ago. I'm extremely leveraged in old Pokemon cards at the moment.
And Tendy Coin.
Well, Tendycoin, I'm diversifying into Tendycoin, but right now I'm holding about $75,000 in original mint foil Charizards. Now, my hope is that as people my age, get older and start cranking out a bunch of crotch goblins, I can resell those Pokemon cards to their parents. You know, hopefully at a huge markup. I have yet to see if this plan will work or not, but I have several angel investors telling me that I need to keep investing my money in my Pokemon cards, and that will eventually pay off. Well, if we're waiting for our guests to come on, you want to go ahead and review this article that we looked at earlier?
Oh yeah, there's been some serious activity going on in the what is it? I guess the counterintelligence warfare versus the Anunnaki and the reptilians.
Yeah, I like to call it spiritual psychic warfare. You
Very
know?
dangerous times to live in.
Oh, incredibly.
I found some interesting knowledge from our friends that we don't actually know over at Lies Control.
Yeah.
AKA Truth Control, but actually Lies. And they
Friend of the show.
Yeah, they were trying to tell us how to kill reptilian humanoids if we encounter them.
A huge question I have on the regular. Supposedly reptilians are all around us, potentially even impersonating people that we know, which is nuts. So it is important to know how to confront and destroy these alien invaders.
Not cool reptilians.
Not cool.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to avoid their mind control, you have to make a mask out of Rhodesian teak wood.
Okay.
It's a rare kind of wood that only grows in Zimbabwe.
Interesting. Now, what's the source on this?
This is from Truth Control.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They're vetted.
Chris, this guy named Chris.
Chris, yeah, some guy named Chris.
Yeah, he said that you have to have Rhodesian teak wood to resist their mind control powers. And if you fashion a spear or maybe a halberd or a longsword or a broadsword or a bastard sword or a two-handed sword or a rapier.
What about a falcon? Oh, okay, falcon's
or a
good.
falcata, or a masterwork bow or a morning star out of this teak wood, then you can defeat them soundly.
Just like stab, and they're dead.
Dead.
An infinitely powerful psychic reptilian creature.
Anathema.
Wow. And all that's done through Rhodesian teak wood. Huh. Does the article mention anything about the magical properties of teak wood, or is it's just magic and that's just all there is to it?
Well, I mean, it recommends specifically a spear or a pike.
Okay.
But you don't want to cut off their head because that will kill them. But the dangerous thing is they have two hearts.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with your spear strikes.
Yeah, you got to double strike.
Double tap.
Yeah.
Pop, 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 pop. Does it say where these hearts are located?
Oh, sheesh.
Because I'm thinking.
Yes.
I got
one
one
underneath the right arm and one underneath the left arm.
Oh, okay. So they just have like dual hearts. Pyah! Interesting. Well, hear that, folks. Get you some Rhodesian teak wood. Make a mask out of it, make a spear out of it, maybe build your back deck out of it. The article doesn't say anything about construction, but I would assume that if they're that afraid of Rhodesian teak wood, they would in fact stay away from a structure built of Rhodesian teak wood. Or if you want to get cheeky about it, just make yourself some armor of Rhodesian teak wood bark. Walk around like that. The alien rays will just bounce right off of you. You may actually end up slaying some civilians that way when the alien rays that are meant for you bounce off and hit somebody else. But frankly, are you legally liable for that, or are the aliens? I'm thinking it's the aliens. I could be wrong. I've been wrong once or twice before. That's what got me kicked out of hell, actually. But, that's neither here nor there. So stock up on teak wood, folks.
We're about to have Asian President Jaguar come on.
On the line. All the time.
We're going to see if we can get something like 2 sets of videos running simultaneously.
Well, it's very hard to do because President Jaguar is behind like 57 layers of encryption. Plus, he's temporally displaced. I think he actually exists 5 minutes in the future. So, in addition to all of the, crypto stuff, we've also got to deal with the temporal dimension, which is very difficult. Well. President Jaguar, good to see you.
We'll have him come on the video in
splicing the streams now, realigning the temporal navigators.
The dot matrices.
We're bringing the Loosh sensors online. I see you, Mr. President, but I can't hear you. The President looks like he's girded for battle. He may be participating in some direct action out there. You see, President Jaguar is a man of leadership. Directed, powerful leadership.
Sense.
Now, I've never fought an Anunnaki with a teakwood spear, but I have fought an Anunnaki with my mind. And I'll tell you, I was not up to the task. I was completely annihilated immediately, lost all sense of self, and then drifted through a psychic fog for what seemed like an eternity before they pulled me back down to Earth and reminded me that I am just a human and that I need not to interfere in their schemes. So, the idea that I could fight one with a teakwood spear is pretty revelatory, you know? I'm gonna have to kind of stock up on those, keep one in every room of my house. Oh, I actually already have a teakwood spear in my bathroom. You see, teakwood spears are also useful for fighting off drowning ghosts, and I've got a couple drowning ghosts in my bathroom, so I occasionally, while I'm, taking a number 2, I have to poke at the shower, make the ghost go away so I can finish. It's hard to go when the ghost is watching you, to be fair. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced anything like that, but ghosts, in my experience, frequently join the bathroom. I don't know what their deal is.
Maybe test that audio one more time.
It's the NSA, man. They're trying to keep us from talking to the secret president.
Yeah, too much encryption.
Alright, we got you coming out of the TV now, you Jaguar.
So we do have the president.
Confirm that we can hear you, Agent Jaguar. And that you can hear us. Oh no.
We've been disconnected. That's the secret service.
Well,
Trying to keep him from
technical
talking to
difficulties,
us.
They're not actually our fault.
Yeah, it's the government.
Yeah.
It's the government. It's Mark Zuckerberg. It's Mark Zuckerberg's hanging out with Jeff Bezos right now. The two of them are just yucking it up like a couple of chuckle fucks.
Not enjoying our talk show.
Yeah, well, I mean, they secretly enjoy it, but they wouldn't tell anybody. They watch it as a dirty pleasure. If President Jaguar is having connection troubles, we can try to talk to Governor Cuomo first, and then have President Jaguar on later on.
Yeah, let's see if we can get Governor Cuomo call on in.
Very, very proud of this one, folks. Now, I didn't think that our little show had a big enough profile, to warrant somebody like Governor Cuomo, but he actually reached out to us. So, I don't want to say that we're heating up or we're the hottest show out there right now, but I don't see anybody else doing interviews with Governor Cuomo. I'm just saying. So I'm pretty proud of this one. I'm not a New Yorker personally, but I've known a lot of people from New York. Worked for a guy from New York for a long time, and it's one of America's treasures. One of America's greatest treasures. You've got New York City, the city that never sleeps. You've got upstate New York, the place nobody wants to go. Those two different things, all in one state. It's phenomenal. And inside of New York itself, I mean, what can I say? One of the greatest cities on earth for performance, for finance, for corruption, for rats in the subway. One of the greatest cities on earth. We're talking the home of Bagel Boss. We're talking the home of that guy who yelled at the guy who played the trumpet. We're talking about Frank Sinatra, maybe. I don't know if he was from New York, but he talked about it a lot. You've got Pizza, the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty, some sort of big apple. I hear they've got a giant apple out there. New York style cheesecake, right? I assume that Governor Cuomo is responsible for all of this stuff. I don't actually know. The only thing I know about Governor Cuomo is what I was able to find on YouTube and Wikipedia earlier today. So I actually didn't even know he was the governor of New York until just a few days ago when he reached out to us. But I'm very excited to have him on. We're gonna try. We're gonna hardball him. We're gonna ask the tough questions.
Hello.
Oh, President Jaguar, is that you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, Mr. President. It's great to hear your voice again.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We had a little bit of interference. I was coming back through a 12D platinum white shielded vortex. I was coming back. We had some direct action in World War 1.5.
Oh, nice.
We were able to take, I think, if it's not in the history books right now, then we should have taken care of it.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, ostensibly, if you took care of it, it'll never show up in the history books, right?
That's correct. And before we move any forward, I just want to make sure that we are practicing safety because this is a time of disease spread, not just physical disease, but also metaphysical disease. So if I could just have everyone just join me with a 12D shielding technique, and then I can make sure that all of us are safe before we're able to continue this, because our primary concern here is safety, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, what do we need to do for this 12D shielding technique?
Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to need you to do is visualize a triangle.
Okay.
And then visualize that triangle, it should be face up, and then visualize a second triangle that is inverted on top of it, almost like a Star of David. But I want you to imagine these now as pyramids, okay? So you imagine two pyramids in the same way that a Star of David would be intersecting. You have two pyramids, okay? So, all right. So yeah, as a core practice, you should be doing this when you wake up in the morning. But just repeat after me, and I'll walk you through your 12D shield. And listen, this is a free service one time, and every time after this is actually $39.99 for your morning daily service.
Well, this is a great deal. Thanks, President Jaguar.
They should be paying us for this.
Well, they will be. They will be.
Yeah, we are in development right now. We have SplatEarth.com, and so keep on the lookout for updates from SplatEarth.com, so you can see more garbage hawked directly to you from authentic grifters.
Oh, absolutely. Now, it seems like this is kind of a goop style situation.
That's correct. Yeah. So we're gonna be so yeah. Before I get too ahead of myself, I'll just have everybody just work. What I want you to do is imagine floating this star that I described. Imagine that floating over your head, about 8 inches over your head. Okay. And then I want you to visualize it going through your crown chakra into your head.
Okay.
Right. And travel down into your neck, and then into your heart.
Oh.
And still going in.
Oh, there it goes.
Bright white, platinum white light that is just shooting out of you.
I'm shooting.
And now it's going to go into your groin, and it's going to exit your sacrum below through your feet.
Oh,
and it's
there it
going to
goes.
go into the earth.
Oh, shit.
And it's going to keep going down fast to the core Merkaba star that is in the core of the earth. That is shielded in hollow earth and protected by Antarctic Lovecraftian horrors. And so once it's all the way down there, then it's going to circle and it's going to spiral, and then it's going to jettison right back. And there's going to be 15D magenta light. There's going to be 14D cyan light.
Okay.
There's going to be 13D black light, but most importantly, there's going to be 12D platinum white light, and that's going to come all the way back about 6 feet below you, okay? And so, and then this star is like from that top point where it started all the way back to the bottom, okay? It's going to be rotating in 12 dimensions. It's going to be protecting you. And now to seal it, you have to repeat after me. Is everybody ready at home?
Yeah, I'm ready, President Jaguar.
Okay, repeat after me. My declaration of intention.
My declaration of intention.
To serve my source.
To serve my source.
I commit to serve.
I commit to serve.
My highest power.
My highest power.
Fully, completely, and totally.
Fully, completely, and totally.
I am God.
I am God.
I am sovereign.
I am sovereign.
I am free.
I am free. Wow.
Alright, congratulations. You should be protected.
I do feel very protected.
The rest of the night. And tomorrow, if you're concerned about any Lovecraftian horrors taking your loosh, make sure that you contact us. And then again, likely services are going to be available on Splatter.com within the next week. So you'll be able to keep your eyes peeled for that.
Now remember that, folks, SplatEarth.com. You can get lead in these services every single morning, and it sounds like it's a very good deal. Now, we're talking 12 dimensions of protection here. You know, that's way more than traditional body armor will provide. You know, even if you've got the little ballistic plates.
What you have to think about when it comes to loose protection is that if you've ever tried to send it into hyperdimensional, subdimensional, transdimensional, interdimensional, spirit world spaces,
Sure.
if you've ever encountered a being that seems like it's full of love and light, that's actually loosh, and you've actually encountered either a 18D succubus or incubus or a transcubus, which is a combination or derivation of genders that you haven't even heard of yet.
Yeah, they haven't even come out yet.
Takes your loose.
So you're telling me that
narcissistic X that just takes all the energy from everyone that can't produce their own loosh.
God.
And then you can get trapped in one of these love life paths, but that's actually stolen loosh. You don't want to lose it up there.
So you're telling me that when I smoked DMT and 69'd with a time L for 2 hours, that it was actually sucking the loosh out of me?
It's not free.
Yeah, that was definitely sucking loosh out of you. So there are some creatures that walk the earth that are actually empty and hollow and don't have the ability to produce loosh. And it's almost like these bugs that will eat photosynthetic organisms and then take the photosynthesis for themselves, but it's short-lived. In the same way, they're taking your loosh.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's not designed for them. They're acquiring it through parasitic means. And I would assume that's why all the villains out there who are constantly thriving on other people's loosh, that's why they need a constant supply. Since it's not naturally produced,
Right.
they're consuming it.
It's
You know,
an
it goes right
ecological
down.
niche, just like a mosquito fills a niche, that there's blood that's available to be sucked, that these loosh bats. And, you know, one thing that you have to be looking out for with loosh is it's not just Anunnaki these days. There's all sorts of, like, gray aliens can be found. I've actually found them in my orchard, drunk driving their UFOs. And
Wow.
they crash landed. And they're looking for them when they come at 3 o'clock in the morning. They're not up. They're not trying to help you. They're not trying to help you ascend into anything. They're looking for your loot.
That's so irresponsible. I myself have had to execute multiple grays that have crashed their vehicles on my property. I mean, it really is a problem.
Yeah. Right. I mean, if my prison full of dark lights and grays and Anunnaki was not already full, we'd be able to put them in there. But at a certain point, like, you just gotta call the herd.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you don't want to overcrowd the Anunnaki prisons. You know, that's setting a bad example for when they come and take over the earth.
So what they want is gold, and so what they're trying to get is they enslave people to mine gold in the same way that higher level beings will mine loosh. And so
Sure.
it's relatively easy to catch Anunnaki. You just have to leave like a huge pile of gold out, and then after you do that, then you're able to deploy your anti-Anunnaki measures.
Yeah. See, what I like to do is get a big pile of those gold foil covered chocolate coins and then leave those
Right.
laying around. So the Anunnaki bite into them, bam, get a bunch of chocolate in their system, they're poisoned. You know, so they're trying to run away, but they're moving all slow because their livers are all fucked up from the chocolate
Lethargic.
poison. Yeah.
The diabetic shock. Yeah.
Yeah. Anunnaki aren't typically allowed to have sugar on their home plane. You know, that's one of the many reasons they come here.
No, the main cop in their dimension is actually a diabetic, and so they made a law that said that you can't have anything the main cop in their dimension doesn't have, so they're not allowed to have it.
Yep.
Because there are Anunnaki, but you have to remember that there's also Anunnaki cops, which are even higher ranked.
Right. Which are diametrically opposed, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. Yeah, isometrically, diametrically,
Paralogically.
and isotonically.
Yeah. So tell us more about SplatEarth.com, President Jaguar. Now, we know that you're going to need to, you know, start selling some stuff pretty soon to fund your re-election campaign.
Yes, that's right. So the asset FBI is guaranteed by the double secret government constitution, but it is not directly funded by that constitution. And so in times of austerity from the super secret government, it has to self-fund sometimes. And so we're going to be hawking all sorts of useless shit. So one thing is that we're going to get pieces of pine wood that we're going to tell people are magic wands. And then we're going to sell these 7-inch long
well, the 7-inch wand is superior to the normal 5.5-inch European.
Fire starter.
Brilliant.
Right. And we'll also be selling bundles of mint that I said weird shit over. And you can be guaranteed that there was much weird shit said in the presence of these plants.
Yeah, so it's kind of a randomized effect, you know, like you pop one little bag of mint leaves, oh shit, I'm cursed, you know, I gotta open another one. There we go, that's a blessing.
Right. Yeah, we'll be providing daily devotionals also, so you can get services like the ones that I described with the 12D shield, some other information that you might be interested in.
I'm interested in most information.
In the universe and my Patreon, you will get at least 3 hybrid star children living in the astral realm that will focus their kundalini to solve your personal problems, and you will receive $10,000 space cash when we reach interdimensional unity.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's an investment, honestly.
Yeah, I don't have any Earth cash right now, which is why I need your subscription investments of Earth cash. But we have plenty of space cash. We have plenty of Spirit World cash. We're stocked.
Oh, and the exchange rates on those are through the roof. You know,
Yeah.
American Earth dollars, basically worthless. Spirit World dollars only goes up, baby.
Currency wildly successful. And I just think everyone should get rid of their U.S. dollars because it's actually immoral and unethical to have U.S. dollars at this point. And so we're the only ones that are able to safely destroy them. So you need to make sure that you send it to either Dr. Crow or President Jaguar or Dr. B Supreme.
Yeah, one of the 3 of us can take care of those for you, and we'll automatically transfer those into Spirit World dollars. And the Spirit World has so many exchange places, like you can just go to the Spirit World, pop into an exchange spot, trade in those Spirit World dollars for, you know, whatever kind of currency you would want.
Right, yeah, and if you go to D&T Space, we also have our own Dr. Crow exchange that you can, for a modest sum, you can exchange your Earth dollars into Spirit dollars there, but with the prices that we have right now, you're better off changing them out here, and then when you get there, then you just open up your account and it's everything you're needed.
Yeah, it's there automatically. It's so easy. I myself...
Yeah, I mean, and all 3 of us are doctors. I mean, not only am I a reverend and a doctor in the Church of Venus, I also have a doctor of chiropractic and asteroidal pyramid physics.
There you go. That's 2... Wait, is that 1 PhD or 2 different ones? Is it like a chiropractics related to asteroids?
MD, PhD. I actually have 2 MDs and 2 PhDs.
Oh, I see. You're a mega Harvard man. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, my MD is from Mega Harvard, and then my PhD is from Ultra MIT.
Oh, wow. That's quite a record. I mean, no wonder you're president.
Yeah. Right, yeah. I actually took 7-dimensional laser calculus with Dr. B Supreme, and then that's actually how I became acquainted with this program.
that makes sense. That makes sense. So let me ask you, when do you think Splat Earth is going to be going live?
Splat Earth is set to go live on Wednesday. You can go now and be disappointed. We
I
have
love to be
the
disappointed.
URL, but this week we will have it live, and you will be able to buy things. And yeah, and also and other services. We have all manners of grift and fraud that will be available. So if you need job recommendations, if you need
Oh, yeah.
previous renter, I'll pretend to be your landlord, I'll pretend to be your old boss, I'll pretend to be your coworker, whatever kind of grift that you need done, the team here can make sure that you get all the cash.
Do you ship clean urine to all 50 states?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
great. Hey, that's all I need.
Yeah. We can guarantee that you will get all of your dopamine will be fixed. Dopamine, cash,
And that's what you call subliminal messaging, folks. You've all been brainwashed.
Speaking of brainwashing, we do have another guest.
That's right, we do. We need to get Governor Andrew Cuomo on the show.
But also, before Governor Andrew Cuomo, we have another guest.
A secret guest?
Yes.
Interesting,
So
interesting.
I don't know if Agent Jaguar has more important things to do in his time continuum or not.
Yeah, you got any final thoughts for us, President Jaguar? Anything you want to plug besides SplatEarth.com? Visited on Wednesday. Cash.
Cash. Make sure to visit SplatEarth.com next Wednesday and give all of your cash to us, and we'll guarantee your spot on the escape vessel.
Boom, there you go, folks. It doesn't get any better than that. A guaranteed spot on the escape vessel. And those are pleasure
I'm going to
saucers.
fight in World War 1.75, and hopefully that doesn't take off. And if you need anything else from me, I'll be available back at 9:45 Earth time.
All right, good luck crushing those pesky Croatians.
Bye. And then you can log in.
Mr. President, it's been an honor.
Hell, Chief. Well, that was great, folks. Always great to hear from President Jaguar. Be sure to visit his new website, SplatEarth.com, next Wednesday. You'll be able to get a great deal, opening day deals on all that stuff, all the protection you could possibly want. Maybe some job wrecks. I know a lot of people out there are facing unemployment issues right now. Maybe you could just hire old President Jaguar to pretend to be your boss. So, next up tonight, we're going to be having the Guru Sensei of the Cosmic Starfish. He'll be gracing us with his, at least his three-dimensional webcam presence tonight.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Guru's work on platforms such as the YouTube.
Let's see if we can give him a call.
That's a real
See if we
honor
can
to
get
hear
some-
from the
get some
sensei.
actual video going on.
The one and only, folks. Sensei Guru.
I said, let's see if we can get it to work. The life of a producer is hard.
Well, we're always getting bamboozled by the CIA, which is constantly a problem.
And these trying.
I would say that we're also being bullied by the FCC. New beef. I've got beef with Ajit Pai, commissioner of the FCC. I've been talking with him off and on about the censorship that we experience here frequently on the show. They're always trying to ban our voices from every platform because they're afraid of us because we speak truth, the unvarnished truth. And Ajit Pai, constantly standing in the way. I asked him, hey, can you please, stop banning us on all these different platforms? And, he wouldn't give me a straight answer.
Alright.
Hello,
Sensei.
Guru Sensei.
Can he hear us? Can we hear him?
These are the eternal questions. I see the Sensei.
But does the sensei see us? Does the sensei see
Now,
us?
see, you can ask that question physically, but you can also ask that question metaphysically first. To be seen metaphysically is a very different thing altogether. Ah!
Ah!
Guru Sensei! Greetings!
Sensei!
It is a pleasure
Hello there.
to have you on the show tonight. Now, I'm familiar with your work from YouTube. I myself have received several moments of nirvanic bliss after hearing your teachings. So maybe just introduce yourself to the audience, tell them a little bit about your background, what your
Hello, I'm
deal
having
is.
trouble.
Oh no, the spirits, they're interfering. Or possibly it's the government.
Is the Guru Sensei listening to the live stream or is he listening to the video call?
Now that
That's a good question.
is a good question.
Is there a good answer?
Well, there are no good answers, only good questions.
Probably a bit of both.
Ah! The sensei.
If there's a 15-second delay, it means it's probably... Indeed.
Yeah, that's our temporal distortion. Yet another limit imposed on us by the CIA. They have to make sure that they can keep that edit button. You know, so in case if we speak some secret truth, they can beep. Like if I was really to say who did 9/11, whew, we would get beeped so hard.
Oh! There's that other guy you have beef with.
Temporal distortions are tricky to get through.
They really are, and I'm sure you have a lot of experience with that as a multi-dimensional sensei master. I mean, I've seen your wisdoms, and they apply to all levels of
truths are
experience.
secret.
So, but then if I know it, is it truth? Okay, no, I can't fall down this hole already. I can't let the sensei mindfuck me in the first 30 seconds of the conversation. All right, master. Can I address you as master? Is that proper? Thank you. So why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, and then I'll try and... I've got some very particular questions about the universe that I need answered, and I think that you might be my best bet at getting to the real truth.
Of course you may.
Well, first, I'd like to ask you, what was it that led you down the path of enlightenment?
Enlightenment. Enlightenment.
Enlightenment.
Enlightenment. No enlightenment.
We are all born to enlightenment of various forms. However, I was born to a higher path.
And
When
even...
I first noticed the true starfish within us all, I found I could no longer look away.
Sort of a...
And so I've learned that I must shepherd my poor starfish.
He stares at bugs.
Well, I'm glad that you found this calling. I mean, I know that your starfish find your guidance absolutely necessary to reaching higher planes of enlightenment. So I guess my first question for you would be, why the starfish? What is it about the starfish that links us, that binds us, that regenerates our social ties? Why the starfish?
Is there hot dog flavored water involved?
There could be. It's possible.
Well, it's a misnomer that the starfish is something that is chosen. The starfish are just who we are. We just haven't realized it yet. You see, I learned while operating in 3 different places at once that the starfish is unable to exist in any one location, just like ourselves, for we are the starfish.
And so just as the starfish is existing over there and I'm looking at it, we're existing together. The starfish is maybe looking at me. It doesn't really have eyes, but maybe I'm touching it and its little suckers are attached to my hand. That's interesting. So we're never even in a single place at one time. So this is some sort of a quantum knowledge that's been passed on through you to us and potentially to the starfish. Now, I guess my next question is, how can I grow closer to the starfish, or what can I do in my daily life to embody the values of the starfish?
Terrorists win. Terrorists win.
It takes a few seconds for him to connect with our plane of reality.
Yeah, it's a temporal distortion.
Well, that is an interesting question. Originally, we tried to show the truth of the starfish by showing regenerative properties inherent in all cosmic starfish. But the FBI intervened once we started lopping off limbs.
The pesky FBI.
So, we have to embrace these practices at home. And so, we have found the best method is to start practicing the ingestion of food directly to the stomach, and thereby realizing that the head is just another appendage.
That is brilliant. In fact, I couldn't agree more. The head is just another appendage. In fact, most of the bad ideas I've ever had in my life came directly from my head. So I think I see what you're talking about here. Now, obviously, the FBI is always going to discourage people from removing limbs because they're stuck up and, they have all these laws and procedures and all that nonsense.
They keep it on the black side.
Yeah, they keep all that stuff in the black sites. Now, right, exactly. So what I'm thinking is we could possibly establish some sort of...
Trusted.
Yeah, FBI can't ever be trusted. I'm thinking we could establish some sort of a compound in a country that has much more lax limb removal laws. And then, maybe we could really take this transcendence to the next level.
Where time becomes a loop. 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 Where time becomes where time becomes
temporal distortions, folks. Don't mess with them.
Where time becomes a loop. Where
Well,
time becomes a loop.
the compound has already been established. It exists in the spirit world. You see, the spirit world is an illusion of a spirit world. And there, the true compound is located. However, the compound on this plane does exist. And when you are ready, it will be revealed to you.
I see. Okay, so for anybody out there who might be interested in joining this particular monastic order, right, you want to go ahead and get working on your enlightenment now so that you can hopefully soon have the compound location revealed to you, right, and then you can move there. But any of us can access it in the spirit realm at any time, apparently, so you could start getting an early head start on, figuring out how to cut off your limbs, in the spirit world before you actually have to do it in the physical plane. Which is a big plus for me personally, considering I like to use both of my arms, and will until I have properly ascended. So I guess my next question for you, Guru, Master, is how do you plan to advance this monastic order beyond where you are now? I mean, surely you've got hundreds, if not thousands, of followers already, but I assume you're going to scale this up. Do you have any sort of financial infrastructure for that? Do you need a cryptocurrency? Because we can help with all that stuff for a small fee.
Where time becomes a loop. 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 where time becomes a loop, 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 where time becomes a loop.
Yes, we do have ambitious plans for our cosmic starfish. Starting, we have a very aggressive evangelistic order that is becoming quite aggressive in their recruitment efforts, though once again the FBI did in fact put a stop to our most recent attempts. However, we're having very good results with infecting water mains with our personal brand of LSD that leads others into becoming starfish or permanent brain damage. One of the two, but we feel the sacrifice of the few is worth it.
Oh, absolutely. And the show absolutely supports putting LSD in the water supply. Parody in the game, in Minecraft. We're going to put LSD in the water in Minecraft. But I do think that this is a really, really good idea to sort of kickstart the spiritual revolution that you're trying to bring about here. Now, of course, putting LSD in the water is tricky because, and I'm glad you said that you have your own personal brand, because you have to fight against, the fluoride that's in the water, you have to fight against the chlorine that's in the water, you have to fight against the various other government mind control chemicals that are in the water. So I hats off to your chemists that have managed to come up with a brand of LSD that can cut right through all that nonsense. You should consider, when the festival circuit comes back up in a couple of decades here, distributing it there as well to maximize the spread.
My man.
Where time becomes a loop, 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 where time becomes a loop. Where time becomes a loop.
That is exactly the plan. You see, our current manifestation of this LSD is a mixture of a cleaning chemical to actually neutralize the other forms of mind control. And we are very excited with the results. We plan on spreading our message through the festival circuit, and in that hope, we can spread ourselves to the various cities that host these festivals and hopefully gain a foothold into the Hollywood sphere itself. And from there, well, power trickles down from Hollywood. And we fear our LSD will trickle down to the masses.
That absolutely makes sense. Trickle-down powernomics, especially as it relates to Hollywood, has long been the law du jour of the land. So I absolutely agree. Yeah, getting your LSD on the festival circuit, getting it into Hollywood, then you're in the real corridors of power there, bucko. And then you can really start to distribute that stuff to the next level. Well, that's just absolutely fantastic. We, of course, support all LSD cults here at the Too Late Show. And of course, any sort of, plans or schemes that they may concoct, of course, we're on board with all that stuff. So I guess,
Especially ours.
Well, especially ours, yeah. I guess I have one last question for you, Master Guru. Now, if I were to start seeking starfish enlightenment in my own life, what would that mean for my actions toward others? Should I encourage them to cut their limbs off? Should I try to cut their limbs off for them? How should I best go about living the starfish in my day-to-day? When time becomes a loop.
Where time becomes a loop, time becomes a loop, where time becomes a loop.
Thanks, Worf.
Where time becomes a loop, where time becomes a loop.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Where time becomes a loop, time becomes a loop, where time becomes a loop, where time becomes a time.
Well, of course, I cannot suggest that you attempt to sever your own limbs without a certified, trained starfish enlightenment. And those can be procured for a simple payment of $39.95 per visit.
Ah, very reasonable.
I will say, within your own personal life, you could begin the process of splitting your stomach and therefore hasten your transition to removing your limbs.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean,
Until then, I recommend watching my divine wisdom as I spread it out on the YouTubes. In such, you will prepare yourself for the final limit.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so just make a little incision. I can start doing that. I mean, I feel like I chew too much as it is. So getting rid of that extra step of chewing and swallowing and all that stuff might actually be helpful for my gut biome anyway. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, Master Guru. Why don't you tell the people out there, where they can find you on the YouTube in case they want to pursue enlightenment for themselves? When time becomes a loop.
Where time becomes a loop. Where time becomes a loop. Where time becomes a time. Where time becomes a loop. Where time becomes a loop.
On the YouTube, I am in partnership with the channel known as Hypocritical Fish, and they have in some kind grant my eternal wisdom a home on the internet, along with a number of other like-minded constituents. You can find me there, and until then, I wish cosmic starfish be upon you. And remember, children, the best grocery carts are a safe way.
Very true. Thank you so much.
Where time becomes
Thank you, Guru.
Where time becomes a loop.
Well, that was very helpful. I feel like I'm reaching new levels of enlightenment right now. Gonna have to invest in some bone saws, though. Gonna have to figure that out.
Where time becomes a loop. Where time becomes a loop. Where time becomes a loop. Where time becomes a loop.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Producer? We're gonna need to have Governor Cuomo on here in a minute. I think I'm gonna need a fresh beer for that.
Let's take a 5-minute break. 3.
Blah, blah, blah. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's the Too Late Show with Dr. Beelzebub Crow. Earlier in the show, we heard from President Jaguar, right, who's opening up his new website, SplatEarth.com, next week. We also heard from the master guru of the Sacred Starfish? Mystic Starfish? Cosmic Starfish. Cosmic Starfish.
Pure Cosmic Star. Yeah.
Now,
Guru Sensei.
Guru Sensei of the Cosmic Starfish, yeah. Who's got his wisdoms on YouTube. Everybody should go check those out. I personally have received lots of enlightenment from those. So, just before, just to remind everybody, we've got Governor Andrew Cuomo coming on the show in just a little bit. But before we do that, we do need to take a little minute here just to talk about our sponsors. As always, we are, of course, sponsored by the Acid FBI and the Acid CIA. But we are also sponsored tonight by BlueChew.com. BlueChew.com, everybody. If you have problems, getting your mental energies directed, at a certain thing, if you're trying to do some real hard work and you just can't pull it off, it's kind of like Adderall for doing really hard, aggressive work. So if you need any help with that, folks, go to BlueChew.com. They can help you out. Who are our other sponsors for tonight? Who are we sponsored by?
We're still not probably sponsored by Big Acid.
Yeah. Big Acid has been trying to distance themselves from our brand recently. Apparently, we're giving off bad vibes. I don't know what that's all about. It's only good vibes here. Yeah. Irresponsible of them to call us out for bad vibes, frankly. We're very friendly here at the Too Late Show.
You know what we're missing is our prime sponsor, which is the freezer.
Oh, our prime sponsor is in the freezer.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. DJ, do you think you could get our main sponsor from the freezer?
Now, folks, we're coming to you tonight, of course, sponsored by the one, the only, the magnificent Old Crow Whiskey. Now, Dr. James Crow developed the sour mash process in 1823. And I want to have you folks know... Oh, thank you, Jonah. Old Crow, everybody. They're our number one sponsor for the show. They make sure the lights stay on around here. And when the lights need to go out, they also make sure the lights go out around here. So, we just really want to shout them out, check them out on social media, on the internet, in your local liquor store.
For $18 a bottle.
Yeah, for only $18 a handle. It's really the most efficient way to talk to spiritual entities from another plane.
This dry old crow.
Old crab.
Old crow. Now, I think one of the things that we wanted to ask our audience tonight is we're trying to source, and it doesn't matter why, don't ask questions, we're trying to source a couple of stuffed parrots. So if you know anybody who's got any stuffed parrots, any children that you know that have any stuffed parrots, put them in touch with us. We're going to try and buy the parrots off of them. Now, we will try to scam the kids because they're young and they're not very smart. But, if you know any adults or whatever, like people that are not as easy to scam, I guess we want to talk to them too. But, preferably, we'd like to get the stuffed parrots for free. Additionally, I think our producer, you had something you wanted to say tonight about the sheep, didn't you?
Yeah. So, all these, QAnon folks and, right-wingers and mask offers or whatnot.
Mask offers.
Yeah. But not future.
Yeah, okay.
Mask off, yeah. They're all talking about how all these people wearing masks are a bunch of sheep.
Right.
Yeah, and
Sheeple.
I just don't get that because you ever seen a sheep wear a mask before? I haven't.
I don't think I have, actually.
Yeah.
I've seen sheep wear little hats, little booties. But I don't think I've ever seen a sheep with a mask.
When they're short,
Yeah.
But
That might be illegal, because, if masks are made of wool, and I don't know if they are, but if they are, that would be kind of weird for a sheep to wear a mask made of wool, don't you think?
It'd be like a cow wearing leather.
Yeah. I don't know what the kosher rules are for that, but it doesn't seem like it would work.
Or sheep kosher?
Well, sheep is goat, but the thing with
Yeah.
you can't have the meat of the animal and the milk of the animal in the same food. So you can't have the hair of an animal on an animal's face. I guess it's not a very good analogy.
So to say does a lot of our kosher stuff.
Well, I do, yeah. I mean, there's a whole aisle for it at the grocery store. I'm going in there. I'm investigating everything. I want to know how to cook all the foods. I'm talking baklava. I'm talking matzah. Matzah, good as hell. One of the better sort of dumplingy style foods.
Manischewitz.
Oh yeah, Manischewitz is actually good as hell. There was I was staying in an Airbnb a couple of years ago, and one of the amenities that the hosts had was they're like, hey, we've got some extra alcohol. Feel free to drink the alcohol while you're there. It's left over from a party or whatever. So I'm like, hell yeah, this Airbnb comes with free booze. I'm all about it. Get in there. It's like 5 goddamn bottles of Manischewitz. So I'm like, okay, do I really want to get hammered on ornamental wine tonight, or do I want to go to the liquor store? I did in fact get hammered on the ornamental wine. The hangover was atrocious. Cannot recommend it.
The potpourri of liquor.
Yeah.
One of those decorative plants. You're like, oh, I'm gonna eat this plant. No, it's made of plastic.
Yeah, I've tried to eat potpourri a number of times. It depends on the brand. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's total shit. The ones that smell like cinnamon mostly taste like cinnamon. Like cinnamon and dirt. But like a good New England dirt. Not like a rocky southwestern dirt. This is quality soil.
I've just been informed that we maybe have a Governor Cuomo on here momentarily.
Ah! Well, that is exciting. Folks, I think this is probably the biggest fish we've ever caught for the show.
And then fried.
It's the biggest fish we've ever fried for the show.
Fish and chips.
Now, we're not a political talk show, right? But, if a politician wants to come on the show, we're more than happy to have him. And Governor Cuomo, as the governor of one of the most populous and economically well-off states in the Union, we think he is very well positioned. If we can get Governor Cuomo on our side, there's no telling what we could do. The sort of power we could have. We could do the show on Broadway. You want to go to Broadway, fellas? You want to go do a show on Broadway? Maybe at the Broadway Theater? I don't know what those places are called.
Do we even have theaters anymore?
Well, they're all closed, but I meant after.
We'll drive it.
Yeah. We'll go do the show live at a drive-in.
Right.
That sounds fun. Would you folks drive from wherever the hell it is you are to go see us at a drive-in?
At the drive-in.
At the drive-in. Wait, that's a band.
Hey, hit us up in the chat of how far you would drive to see our show.
Yeah. And if the answer is less than 5 miles, maybe just don't answer. We don't want to know. Well, thanks for keeping us rolling in the good tunes tonight, John.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I gotta professionalize. All right.
Is that you?
This is Governor Cuomo.
Governor Cuomo. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. Welcome to the show. Governor Cuomo.
Where time becomes a loop.
Governor Cuomo.
This is Governor Cuomo.
Oh, there you are. It sounds like we've got a little bit of a delay between us and you, Governor Cuomo. Maybe try muting the stream audio, but staying in the call audio.
Can you hear me?
Governor Cuomo.
This is Governor Cuomo.
Oh, there you are. Can you hear me, Governor Cuomo?
I can. Did you play the music?
Yeah. We're glad to have you on the show.
Did you play the music?
Yes, Governor Cuomo. We played the music.
Excellent.
How are you doing?
We're doing great, and thank you so much for coming on the show. You know, we can't thank you enough. So tell us, what are you here to promote, Mr. Governor? We don't frequently have politicians on the show.
Well, I saw the reach you were pulling, and we really need everyone to come back to New York City, and I'll buy you a drink.
Oh, will you buy me a drink if I come to New York City?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Buy you a drink.
that's pretty awesome. Well, so Governor Cuomo, I just need to ask a couple questions right out of the gate. Now, I admit I didn't know who you were earlier today. I had to look at you on Wikipedia. Now, according to my notes here, you are in fact single and ready to mingle at this point, having just broken up with your girlfriend last September. Is that correct, Governor Cuomo? Are you single? And if so, are you ready to mingle?
Absolutely.
That's great.
Always. Every type of mingling.
Every type of mingling. All right. Well, I'm sure you're pretty good at mingling, being a politician. So, what has been the hardest part of being governor during the coronavirus pandemic? Help us see into your life as governor.
Well, I haven't been able to enjoy the restaurants that I'm used to going to. I have to wait too long. It's been very inconvenient for dining.
Sure. Inconvenient for dining. But I mean, what about the rest of your job? I mean, I'm sure you're constantly, talking to the president, people in Congress. How has it been?
Well, the cell reception has not been as good because I'm used to talking on Wi-Fi in restaurants, and
sure, and that's not available anymore.
No, so the call quality is worse. I'm on the phone all the time. Calls are dropping. It's obnoxious.
Sure. And I assume that impacts your ability to do your job.
Yes, my job is very important to me as the governor of New York.
Yeah, New York State. Yeah, yes, that's the state you're the governor of. So maybe walk us through a day in the life of Governor Cuomo. What is it like around the governor's mansion right now? Help us see what you're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Well, it's difficult to describe the way the governor's mansion looks right now.
How so?
Well, it's renovations. There's lots of work going on, and I haven't been in the governor's mansion recently.
I just saw you in the governor's mansion on TV a couple days ago.
You are mistaken.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's try a different tack. Okay. So, how has it been interfacing with other officials like the mayor of New York City?
Well, I'm very good at interfacing, so it hasn't really impacted my performance.
Good at interfacing.
So to speak.
Okay.
It's like a soundboard.
Yeah. Okay. Have you been interfacing with the senators for New York, whose names I'm sure you know?
Of course I know their names, and I interface with them daily.
Okay.
What's the best restaurant to eat at if it were open?
If it were open, probably one of the very expensive ones.
One of the very expensive ones. Okay, look, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't think you're actually Andrew Cuomo. You're not answering any of these questions like I would expect you to. You seem like you don't even know what your job is. What the hell's going on?
You got me. It's your boy Tony.
Tony? Tony Two-Tone Dixapliano?
In the flesh, but don't fuck up the name again.
Sorry, my bad. I'm not good with Italian names.
Sicilian names.
Sorry, Sicilian names. Okay, folks, I'm sorry. This is my so-called friend, Tony Two-Tone Dixapliano. He is a Sicilian, apparently. Intelligence asset. He was involved with Operation Gladio. He was part of the CIA in the 90s. I don't know what he's doing. What the hell are you doing in Andrew Cuomo's office?
My man.
I'm not even in his office. I just stole one of the cell phones off one of his guys and gave you a call.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Oh well. Huh.
Are they tracking you right now?
I think so.
Tony, you need better OPSEC.
Yeah. How are you keeping the governor from tracking you down, Tony?
Well, I haven't quite thought through that step. I don't think it's going to be a problem. We go way back. I know practically everyone on the entire island.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's helpful somewhat, but I have a feeling that the governor of New York is not going to see it as a lighthearted prank that you stole one of his cell phones and you're making media calls as him. I mean, is this the first show you've been on, or have you been on other shows as Andrew Cuomo?
This is the very first one. He's probably not even gonna find out. It was just some guy. He was his press secretary. I took his phone. I called you.
Okay.
It's not gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, press secretaries don't even really need their phones anyway. I'm sure they don't really use them for anything besides checking Twitter. Well, okay, riddle me this, Batman. How the hell did you get the phone? What were you doing that you just had access to Andrew Cuomo's press secretary's phone? That's some real shady shit.
It was in a restaurant. It was no big deal.
Oh, it was no big deal in a restaurant, huh? Did you poison him? I've seen you poison people before, Tony.
Does that have anything to do with your last name?
It's a family name.
Oh.
It's a family name. It's Sicilian. We picked it up for no reason at all. I did not poison him.
I thought that your grandfather got that last name on Ellis Island.
No, we had that back in the homeland. And don't you talk about my grandfather, Priapismo, both ways, Dick Subliani.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk shit about your grandfather. I was just, yeah. He was an innovator. Best sausage smuggler in all of New York, I've heard.
You wouldn't even be eating salami if it wasn't for my grandfather and what he did with his boss.
Okay, well, enough about your grandfather. I'm sorry to bring him into the conversation. Well, so here's my question. Now that you've got the press secretary's phone, what's your next step? I mean, if I was you, I would have a whole host of calls ready to be made.
I hadn't quite gotten to what I'm going to do after this. I just thought I would call in and, play a prank on you. I tricked you. I tricked your producer. I tricked all of you.
You tricked us pretty good, Tony. You tricked us pretty good. Now, okay, so, Tony, while you've got the phone on you, let me just get you to do a little something for me. I want you to go into the contacts list of the phone. All right? Now, I'm assuming, this is Cuomo's press secretary. This person probably has all of Cuomo's contacts. I want you to look in the cell phone for a little name called Jeffrey Epstein. Just let me know if you find it. If it's there, let me know.
Give me just a moment here.
It's under E. Epstein. Probably after Eggman, Doctor.
The number is 696-969-6969.
I can confirm that the name is in the phone.
Oh my God, folks. This is breaking news. You'll only see it here. Governor Andrew Cuomo's press secretary's phone has Jeffrey Epstein's number in it.
Oh my God.
Woo! This is big news. Tony, I'm gonna need you to get to a secure location ASAP, because this is going out live on Facebook, and I would assume that Cuomo's people are gonna be onto this pretty fast. So you need to get out of there, wherever the hell it is that you are, before a SWAT team comes in and blows you away for blowing the lid off this whole thing.
Well, I think I'm probably safe wherever I am here, but just to be safe, maybe I should vamoose.
Yeah, maybe you should vamoose. Maybe you should hide yourself in some sort of a salami camouflage situation. Just slide into the boar's head display.
Well, I'll be talking to you later, but until then, come to Brooklyn. I'll buy you a drink.
All right, everybody. You heard him. Come to Brooklyn, he'll buy you a drink. And he probably won't put anything in it. Well, folks, I'm sorry about that. I thought we were going to get the real Andrew Cuomo, and all we got was Tony Two-Tone Dick Sucliano, my old friend from my CIA days. Well, I'm sorry. Maybe next time we'll get a high-profile political figure. We'll see. Well, thank you all so much for sticking around tonight. We had a great show this evening. We talked to President Jaguar. Don't forget, SplatEarth.com, opening up next Wednesday. We talked to the sensei guru of the Mystic Starfish. Cosmic Starfish. Cosmic Starfish, Cosmic Starfish, Cosmic Starfish. We're going to link his YouTube channel in our description when we post our video. And then finally, we talked to not Andrew Cuomo, but actually Frankie, Tony, Two-Tone, Texarkliano, my old friend. You know, hopefully next time we'll get some better high-profile guests for you. But until then, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Take care of yourselves. Be sure not to get coughed on by any maniacs. And we will see you next time. Dr. Crow signing out.